Hello students. So now in the last chapter of political science, yes, we have talked about the four different types of power sharing. One was horizontal distribution of power. The second was the idea of federal structure of the government. The third was community government. And the fourth was coalition government. So we would focus on federalism now. As we talked about in the last class, federalism talks about division of power between center and the state. So let's say we have numerous issues that we need to discuss about. It can be defense, it can be agriculture, it can be education, so on so far. So what we do for, we decide defense would be looked after by the center, agriculture would be looked by state, and so on. So what happens is the ruling become is much more easy, the execution process is much more efficient. So that's the sole ideas under the structure of federalism. We saw in Belgium how the unitary forms of the government slowly and gradually amendments between 1970 to 1993 shifted to a kind of federal structure where equal representations were given to both the linguistic groups. Similarly, under federal structure, what we do is, let's say the central government have so and so power, state government have so and so power. Usually say the state government looked after day-to-day functioning, day-to-day administration at the local level of the state level. Okay. However, the center is much fewer subject of more important. However, the ideas of federalism differ from state to state and country to country. So later on in this section, we would be focusing especially in India. Let's talk about the idea of federalism and its benefit. Okay, ideas of this is a federalism. If you look on the world map, this is a world map. Okay, world map. Here, out of the 192 states, you have 25 nations that have federal structure of the government, and these contribute to 40% of the population worldwide. So that's definitely huge amounts, and mostly you can see the bigger nation who are bigger in size and bigger in dimension usually have a federal structure, so that the ruling becomes, or the executions of power becomes much more efficient and better. Now, what are the basic features of federalism? Okay, basic features of federalism. This is the basic features of federalism. Listen carefully. First of all, as we uh, as we said, there would be division of power between center and the state. Okay. Now, taxes would be collected and revenue we should say collected separately in the state level and the center level, or if it's collected at one level, it would be divided for the center and the state uh, on the short certain on the short certain amount. Okay, each body, the center and the state, would have their own jurisdictions. Okay, so let's talk about the India. So let's say in India, at the national level, you would have a Supreme Court, and at the state level you would have High Court. That's the kind of jurisdictions that would be seen each and every level. If there is requirement of fundamental change in the constitutional provinces, both the center and the state should have their say and their should have their yes, basically, to make that change in the constitutions ultimately. It brings a more unity, tries to protect regional diversity, each and every regions, and maintain the mutual trust and the agreement. Okay, maintain the mutual trust and the agreement. It's a very important topic, mutual trust and agreement. Okay, now there are two basic form of federalism. Two basic form of federalism that exist. This is a very important questions. You have the coming together federalism and holding together federalisms. In coming together federalism, we say you have independent state that are there, and they try to maintain their own identity and sovereignty and increase their security by coming together. That could be seen in the nations of Australia, Switzerland, and America. So all the state of equal power, we strong as the federal government. But in India, this is not the case. In India, we have a holding together federation. Okay, holding together implies that the country divided into uh, implies that the country di- divided into state, but the center would allot allot the center would divided the power between the state and the center. Okay, the center would divided the power between the state and the center. So that's the basic difference between the coming together federalism or federation. Okay, and the holding together federalism, I repeat the line once again. What I said, the center would divided the power between the state and the center. So that's the basic differences between the coming together federalism and the holding together federalism or federation. So let's talk about the अमेरिका. अब हम अमेरिका के बारे में बात करते हैं. ठीक है. America. Okay, so America have coming together federalism. So each of the state, be it's a state of California, be it's a state of New York, each would have their own government and own constitutions. However, if you talk about holding together federalism, as in India, you have the center, which is much stronger than the respective government, and it would basically try to divide powers, or say okay state, say okay state should need to look after this and these issues. So those two types of federal government of federation are really very important to understand. Now let's come on the India. That's the major section that we would be talking about, or the major studies we would knowing. Now in India, we have division of power at 3 level. Okay, we have division of power in at 3 level. इंडिया में तीन तीन लेवल पे पावर डिवाइड होते हैं, एंड यू नो. ओके, 3 level. All the powers that reside at the center as a union, okay, as a union list, or the central powers, or the powers with the central government. Okay, union list. And in this list there are there and in this list there is 97 subjects. Okay, so the next is the power that you have in the state that fall under the state list, and some of the powers equally divided between inter of the state, and those goes to the concurrent list. Okay, state list is also called the concurrent list, and in this list there is 66 subjects, but last time I taught 59 subjects. Okay, third one is, so that the division of power. Now coming on the division of the government, at the center you have central government. Okay, center, we have central government, then we have a state which has the state government, and we have the local government. So local government can be RLG और ULG. Okay, शॉर्ट में मैंने बोला है RLG और ULG मीन्स रूरल लोकल गवर्नमेंट और अर्बन लोकल गवर्नमेंट. सॉरी, मैंने बोला था कि स्टेट लिस्ट को, स्टेट लिस्ट इज स्टेट लिस्ट ओनली. ओके ना, लोकल गवर्नमेंट को कंकरेंट लिस्ट कहा जाता है. ठीक है ना. देन RLG और ULG, रूरल लोकल गवर्नमेंट और अर्बन लोकल गवर्नमेंट, विच केम अप अंडर 73rd and 74th okay act of the constitutions. Now at the center, as we say, we have the prime minister. सेंटर में हमारे कौन होता है? प्राइम मिनिस्टर. ओके, देन प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ द कंट्री, देन द पार्लियामेंट. इस तीन, प्राइम मिनिस्टर, प्रेसिडेंट और पार्लियामेंट के बारे में यू रेड इन क्लास 9 ऑल्सो, है ना. सो पार्लियामेंट इन द स्टेट, पार्लियामेंट इन द स्टेट लेवल, वी हैव चीफ मिनिस्टर, वी हैव द लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली and the Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad. Okay, Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad in the certain cases. So you have that occurs at the center. You have that occurs at the center of the state level. Then at the local level, you have the village panchayat, you have the panchayat samiti. We would discuss later. इसके बारे में बाद में डिस्कस करेंगे. ठीक है ना. So now, when there was a division of power between center, state and concurrent list, what happened was, after this was done, the certain subjects then came up. Okay, ये होने के बाद कुछ और सब्जेक्ट्स भी आते हैं. It is here only. Okay, आते हैं certain subjects. Now, since these were already declared that this power or this ministry or this department would go to center, would go to state, and so on so forth. Okay, what would happen to the things that came after the constitution was written? तो हम एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं. ठीक है ना. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, कंप्यूटर सॉफ्टवेयर. नाउ कंप्यूटर सॉफ्टवेयर वाज नाइदर द पार्ट ऑफ सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट nor the part of state government. Because why it is? Because it was not a concept till the constitution came up. Okay, it was not a concept till the constitution came up. So finally what happened was, it was put into the residuary power. Now residuary power are those power that are seen up or that are governed only by the center. So all the residuary power are looked after by the union government and computer software. Since it came after the constitution was written, you have it lying in the residuary subjects. Now you have the list of union you have the list of union list, state list and the concurrent list as we discussed, and some of the subjects that are some of the departments that are part of union list, state list and the concurrent list. Okay, अब हम जम्मू कश्मीर वाले टॉपिक में आएंगे. ठीक है. सो एक्चुअली अर्लियर इट वाज, now the 370 is already removed from the country na, but as in your as this topic is given in your book about Jammu Kashmir, okay, वो मुझे बताना पड़ेगा. ठीक है. The next important topic is what? In India we say we have a federal structure which is holding together. Okay, the only state that has a separate constitution in India, कौन सा? जम्मू कश्मीर. ठीक है. लेकिन अब वो सिस्टम अभी हटा दिया गया है बिल्कुल. जम्मू कश्मीर is certain provisions for provinces फॉर एग्जाम्पल पहले क्या था, अ पर्सन इज डेट डोमिसाइल्ड ऑफ द रीजन कैन नॉट बाय और सेल लैंड इन द रीजन्स। आई थिंक मैंने क्लास 9 में भी ये चीज़ बताया था, ठीक है ना, बट अभी ये 370 आर्टिकल हटने के बाद ये सारा चीज़ चेंज हो चुका है, ठीक है। देन लैंड इन द रीजन, द नेक्स्ट इज यूनियन टेरिटरीज। ओके, यूनियन टेरिटरीज अर्लियर we had 27 7 union territories and 29 state. Now after 370 removed from our country, we have 28 state and 8 union territories. Okay, so those 8 union territory falls directly under the central government. They are not looked after the state, or they do not have the powers as the state have for any change that need to occur in any of these arrangements. What happened is both the houses must have 23rd of the majority. When we talk about both houses, it both houses, it's Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and then it should be ratified by the legislature of the state with at least 50% of the people who are accepting that ratifications. Okay. Ratification. When it comes to judiciary, we talk about resolution of disputes, solving of problems. So under resolutions, uh, so under resolutions of disputes, we say at the center level we have the Supreme Court. However, at the state level, we have the High Court that comes up. Now, do we practice federalism? Federalism is commonly seen in the democratic politics of a state, okay, or a nation in India, state or nation in India. This is a practiced. We in India, we initially started the division based on the language groups. So we had Andhra speaking people who demanded for a separate state. Then come up Marathi, then Tamil, so on, so etc. Okay, so for the initially division of India, after the independence, we had the division came up on the linguistic basis. Despite that, we have certain state that are classified on the basis of culture, ethnicity, or the geographical condition that region. For example, Nagaland. You have Jharkhand, Uttarakhand, and so on. The last state separated was Telangana. Telangana just now recently separated from our country. Okay, that become a separate state in 2014. In India, India basically follows a language policy. So when we say language policy, we say Hindi is the official language. Okay, what we say, Hindi is a official language. This is a language policy. Hindi is a official language. Then, but for all judicial purposes, English would remain the official language, or the basic language. There are 21 other languages that have been recognized in the scheduled languages of India. Now, if you look around, nearly 1500 distinct languages 114 major languages, but in the category of scheduled languages that is listed on the currency notes, that is listed in the constitutions, we have these 22 language that are part of the 8th scheduled. Now Hindi is the most popular uh, of that Hindi is the most popular of that 40% of population have the first languages as Hindi. If you include the people who have the second language and third language is Hindi, third language is Hindi, comes to nearly 50%. But when it comes to English, it's only 0.02% who have English as their first language. Okay, how much? 0.02. Okay, then but English coming up or becoming at second and third language, you have 11% of the population. So most of the things that that were non-Hindi states were starting to believe that Hindi should not be the official language of a country, because if that happens we need to have our separate state. So government favored its condition, and finally there was a ruling that said all official documents and all judicial documents would remain in English. So therefore center state relations become a very important, as we saw after 1990s. We witnessed the coalition government in India. So regional party tries to come together to form government at the center level. Till then you had a single party that was winning the elections, that was coming into the powers. Now the next is the decentralization of in India. So now the decentralization in India. So the decentralization started with the Ashok Mehta committee, okay, where we talk about decentralization, where we talk about the decentralization, okay. सो लीव इट द अशोक मेहता, ओके, उसको हटा दो, फिर सवाल आएगा कि ये कहाँ से आया, ठीक है, तो उसको रिमूव, उसको हटा दो. सो so we talk about decentralization at the rural level and urban levels. So primarily it was the ruler body under the rural areas or rural local bodies. We have 1/3 of the seats had been reserved for the female candidates, that you have read in class 9 also, okay. So power has been taken from the state to the local peoples. So once you have the local people who are coming into the power, they have more representations, more decentralizations, and more power that could be attained by them. So it becomes mandatory to hold regular elections for local bodies, to have a reservation for ST, SC, and women at local level. And you too Panchayati Raj system that evolved. The Panchayati Raj system, what it is, it's very interesting to understand. ओके, पंचायती राज सिस्टम को समझने में बहुत एक इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग्स है इसमें. पंचायती राज, सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द पंचायती राज सिस्टम, यू हैव पंचायती राज सिस्टम, उसमें ले लो क्या कि यू हैव अ लोएस्ट लेवल विच इज़ विलेज. सो एट द विलेज यू हैव द ग्राम पंचायत, ओके, विलेज में ग्राम पंचायत, ठीक है, यहाँ पे है सब, दैट इज सीन. नाउ दिस ग्राम पंचायत वुड हैव पंचायत. सो पंच मीन्स 5. So you would have sarpanch and the other member of the wards, which are known as panch, which would be the part of gram panchayat. They are elected directly by the people, and they take their decisions directly for the people. They approve the budget and the review the performance. Above the village level, you have panchayat samiti, or which is also known as the block or the mandal. Panchayat samiti or block or the mandal. It is the group of various villages coming together. So you have various villages that come together, and this form the block or the mandal or samiti. Now this samiti, the member are the member are elected by the panchayat members of each village. So they have five member from each village, and together will elect the member at district level. They form the Jila Parishad. Now this Jila Parishad have their own elected members. Sometimes they can be MLA or MPs. Then you have Jila Parishad chairman, that's the political head of the Jila Parishad. Similarly, to the rural area, you have the urban. Sorry. Similarly, to the rural area, you have the urban areas where you have municipalities. If it is a bigger urban areas, then you would have municipal corporations would be seen. In a municipalities, you have chairman, which is the head. Which is the head. In a municipal corporation, you have mayor, which is the head of the municipal corporation. Okay. Now, what is the institution of Jila Parishad as we discussed? The Jila Parishad, the Jila, the Jila, the Jila, the Jila Parishad is the political head. Now we say the division of power. You have the district magistrate and the Jila Parishad. What's the differences between the role of these two? District magistrate, it's very important. Okay, question will ask that differentiate between these two, means differentiate between the Jila Parishad and the magistrate. District magistrate chaired by a non-political head. So he is basically a civil servant or a administrative head. The decision making by Jila Parishad, the executions done by the district magistrate. Now the chairman of Jila Parishad comes under the collector or the district magistrate, but above the additional collector. A good example of division of power is seen in this city of Port Algeres in Brazil. So what happened was, you had the decentralization with party decentralization. Where is decentralization with participative government or participative democracy that were seen in Brazil. What happened was the different ward. The city was divided into wards or sector, and each sector had had its own meeting. So buses run into poor colonies, and builders cannot build. Okay, basically have slum dwellers without resulting them. Then, so all those development came in the city because of the active division of power and the involvement of local people into the budget and the allocation of resources, so that even the common man and poor gets the maximum benefit out of it. So coming on the questions from this chapter. So my first question is, what is the differences between coming together federation and holding together federation? Second question is, why India is a holding together federation? Third question is, what is the characteristics features of federal government? Fourth one is the what is the differences between the unitary government and a federal government, explain with example. Fifth one is what are residuary power, who look residuary powers in India. Then last one is the what is concurrent list. So that's all your chapter number second. If any kind of doubt, you please ask me. We'll discuss the questions later on. So thank you.